I'd like now to turn this launch party over to someone who really doesn't need an introduction. She has spent the last 25 years in the field of First Nations substance use and mental health. The last 12 years have been at the helm of Thunderbird and the National Native Addictions Partnership Foundation. We owe so much to her for her leadership, inspiration, and vision that has seen our organization grow and become what it is today, a center of excellence for First Nations substance use, addictions, and mental wellness issues. Please welcome our Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Carol Hopkins.
Wewena bojo, no jam indigenous cause gaye mainga and dodam, letting lanape que and dowlanape a king in Dunjuba. I am so happy to be here today with you, joining you from the Delaware Nation at Moraviantown, which is where I live and is the head office, hosts the head office for Thunderbird Partnership Foundation, to celebrate our launch of Thunderbird's first mobile app and our new podcast. Thunderbird Wellness is the name of our first app, and it creates access to culture. It's creating access to positive, safe messaging that can support people who use drugs. It provides information to support a new way to look at substance use issues from a strength-based, culturally grounded place where people can recognize that they're created by the Great Spirit. They have a right to life. They have a right to health. The Great Spirit gave them the breath of life. That means they can access programs and services without stigma and racism. That's what we promote through the app. Or if they choose abstinence, they can find resources to support them there as well. These attitudes can prevent people from getting the support they need when we judge them for their substance use. It increases their isolation, and it can put their lives at risk. Through sharing information and culture connections, the app is one way we are working to foster a change in this attitude. Our new monthly podcasts take this idea a little further. It wraps into a conversation that supports our understanding of these issues. We've chosen to call our podcast Minobimatsewin, which means living a good life in the Anishinaabe language. Living a good life is a concept that we all hope for our families, our communities, and ourselves. The podcast will highlight conversations with some of the leading voices in Indigenous wellness who will share their insight about substance use, addictions, mental wellness issues that many of our families and communities are working to address today. We know from First Nations worldview that wellness is achieved through connections to who we are, through our culture, because it's these very things that create a sense of balance across spirit, emotions, mind, and body. This holistic approach is grounded in who we are as Indigenous people. This whole person approach can be found throughout all of our work at Thunderbird. And so the content of our app, Thunderbird Wellness, and our podcast, Minopimatsewin, draw from our organization's strength, sharing our work through positive messaging to help people know their life has meaning, they have purpose, and that people care about them. For 21 years, our team here at Thunderbird and the National Native Addictions Partnership Foundation have been working hard to support First Nations wellness. Whether it's our new app and podcast or our new network of regional trainers delivering Thunderbird's curriculum, our surveys and research, or our advocacy work to secure funding for wage parity and operational funding for treatment centers and their workforce. There's a lot going on at Thunderbird, and I want to thank you and thank my team for making this work possible. Miigwech, Anishik.